What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to the Lowe Down on the Floor, the podcast where we break down every episode of the floor, talk strategy, relive the chaos, and hear directly from the contestants who are in the arena.
I'm Devin, Road Trips, former contestant and co-host.
And I'm Zack, aka Trees, and tonight we're diving into episode 6 of season 5, an episode that had big matchups, shifting momentum.
And this really is the point of the season where every decision, and I do mean every decision, starts carrying more and more weight. Players are thinking about positioning, survival, and whether it's worth taking risks or just trying to stay alive one more round.
And tonight we've got a guest who was right in the middle of all of it.
Will came into the
Hi, guys.
game. Yes, sir. Yeah, Will came to the game as an expert in air travel, navigating the pressure of the floor, and eventually faced off against Kristen, who will go on to win the $20,000 for episode 6. So tonight we're talking strategy, matchups, and what it feels like playing against someone building momentum and all that stuff viewers didn't get to see on TV. How you doing, Will?
Oh, I'm so good. Thank you guys so much for having me.
Appreciate you being on.
Yeah, this is going to be great.
So happy to have you. So I always like to start with this number. I know I say this every time we have one of these episodes. 9. Every time we have a 9 duel day, I always think, oh my goodness, the drama you must feel when you're on the floor. 6.
Yeah.
6 out of 9 challengers beat the experts in their category, which I know was a lot of big well play. Can we say well play? Is well play the word we're using these days?
We're going to make it one.
And so we have a lot of challengers showing their moxie and going for that territory freeze, which is right around the corner. And so that's another thing playing in the back of the mind. And then I also want to say that 20,000, a new person won 20,000. It no longer is going to the 2 individuals who've been hogging all the money all the time. And so let's start us off at the top. Paige gets to decide whether or not to continue the stair play. Coming in from the last episode, what are you feeling, Will? Are you already knowing what she's going to do, or are you just like,
Oh my gosh. Yeah, so this was an intense day. So we filmed episode 5 first, then we went right into 6 right after, right? Because you guys know we're filming multiple episodes a day. Meg, one of my BFFs, shout out to Meg. Seeing her go home already had me shook.
oh
And
no?
then also seeing them duel Bravo, which I thought was going to be my category when I auditioned for the show, also had me shook. So my mind was like, okay, we're about halfway through the season. I can't believe this is all happening. So during that break, during kind of that pause between 5 and 6, everybody was scrambling because everything that I think we all thought was going to happen went in totally different directions.
So I'm going to dig in the weeds. Was this one of
Yeah.
these, they give you a snack and then we're going to go film, or is it you get to eat lunch and then go film?
I mean, it was a snack sized lunch. It was like 45 minutes and it was a lot of cramming and thinking about where were things going to go. At this point, you guys also saw our corner of the floor hadn't been touched. So we were just holding on to hope and a prayer and Kristen's confetti. She had like a lucky confetti piece that we all held on to. And we're like, please spare us till halfway through the season. And it worked. So we were just riding high, ready for some action too, I think.
There you go.
Yeah.
And so I'm thinking, and this is the lowdown, so we give you the lowdown on the floor. And if you
Yes.
ever do get to be on the show, you don't realize how uncomfortable lunch is for you when you realize, like, oh my God, my best friend just left. We about to film another episode. It's going to be a 9 duel day. You kind of think to yourself, it might be a 9 duel day. They don't tell you. It
No.
might be 8, it might be 9, but you kind of do the numbers. You're like, ooh, what's a nice round number at the end of this episode? They probably want to end with like 75. They want to end with 50. And if you realize like 59 people is on the floor, like, oh, they're going to get rid of 9 of us because it's a nice round number. And so you're thinking all these things. And while you're trying to eat your potatoes and, and you're like, oh my God, probability states this might be my episode. Was that kind of thought process going to your mind at the time?
100%. You forgot the best part of lunch that we're wearing the trash bags
The
over
the
us,
full
right?
body
So we're
bib.
we're in the full body bib, we're in our trash bags, and I was sitting. I actually have a picture of one of my other BFFs on the show is Liz, who is Muppet. She's a killer person in general, but we're sitting there talking like, "Oh my God, Meg just went home." It had already come for her. She'd been randomized. She'd done horror movies, and she was kind of hyping me up because I was feeling just a little deflated, a little defeated. I needed my hype man, and she was like acting as
Oh,
that for me. But yeah, it was tense, I would say. With the alliance versus kind of the other side, we were already feeling all of these lines drawn. We were watching people very closely, who they were sitting with, who they were studying with, and we'd already identified a lot of patterns. But by the end of episode 5, we knew where everybody stood,
mm.
figuratively and literally.
And so Paige decides to stay and play.
Mhm.
She wins. Then she wins again, and now she's going back on the floor.
Mhm.
What is going through your mind at this point? Are you thinking, all right, I survived too, or what's
I
going on?
was I was just hoping she was going to stay up there literally forever because I was like, okay, the longer she's up there, we get one more episode to crank through. We're at the
Yeah.
halfway mark, right? That was part of my mind. The other part was ready to play, right? Because as you guys know, the days are long. Sometimes we're filming 12 hours, so we'd had like two 12-hour days back to back. We're in the middle of this day. I'm like, hey, I kind of want to get up there and play. I was getting a little bit antsy. I did know that whenever that randomizer came my way, I was going up because I was surrounded on all four sides by the alliance members. And I'm a sweet talker. I'm a nice guy. I was like, hey, what if we don't challenge each other if one of us is selected? And everybody was like, well, I'll think about that one, Will.
So let's clear up some controversy. According
Yes.
to one of the alliance members, she
Hmm.
says they were not in an alliance. They just happened to be a bunch of the alternates who
Mm-mm.
happened to be friendly and buddy buddy. That they weren't
No.
really in an alliance. So what did you perceive them to be?
Oh, they were a straight up alliance. They had separate group chats. They had study guides on the categories that were shared with only those 37 or 38 people. And we started to know pretty quickly who they were. And I was I'm going to wrap myself out a little bit, but I was a little bit, after day one, we saw this happen. And I was like, I'm going to go find out how long everybody's been in Ireland and just get some tea. Like, oh, what did you do last week? Oh, I was working at home. Okay, great. You're not new lines. Oh, I was all over Ireland. I went to the Guinness, whatever. Then I know. And we literally, our side had a map where it was like alliance, alliance, alliance. And we know, they didn't hide it. Like anytime somebody on the alliance went up, won anything, you could look around and you would see the hoot and the holler and the screaming, the yelling. And if one of them, the tears, if one of them did get the boot. So it was pretty obvious. And I mean, the shared study guides, the group chats, it was just the vibe was obvious too, right? So we had to kind of make our own. And we
Hmm.
had, like our side that kind of really knew what was going on. I called us Will's Angels, not to be like an egomaniac, because that's not my style, but I just had all these really cool people, mostly the girls and the gays. And I was like, hey, we're kind of like Will's Angels, and we're going to fight this alliance. And it just turned out that it was kind of a cool little group of us that it worked out.
So you hear here first, people, what was really
Yes.
going on. We already had one side say we're not an alliance, and now I have the other coin. It's like y'all have a separate group chat, fam. Like you're not.
Yeah. I mean, pull out the Bible. I'll swear on it. They 100% were an alliance.
That's
So
not an alliance. That's a team.
That's a team. That's a team. Yeah.
and so Kristen, who's a part of the alliance, gets
Yes.
randomized.
Yes. And I know it. She does the whole him and hawing, like I could go here, here, here. I was like, I know I'm going up. They better have my portrait of Rob ready. Like we got to get going. Yeah. So I knew.
So were the other people around you affiliated with the
Oh,
alliance?
oh yeah. Three of the four were. The other, so the person contestant right behind me, Leslie, she wasn't a part of the alliance, but she was doing her own thing. Super cool lady. She and I, got close on the show, but she wasn't really wrapped up in the social game. So she was kind of just on her doing her own thing, but all of the people touching me. So Kristen, Ren, who I love Ren too. She's like my floor sis, but definitely very much a part of the alliance. And then Dexter, who was on my left. Everybody was, yeah, full alliance and, coming for me.
And did you know ahead of time, like, did they ask you, would you do a portrait of Rob Lowe, or were you just like, I'm already gonna
Oh,
do a portrait?
yeah, no, super cool question. You can see one behind me, but I do like a lot of pastel chalk art portraits. And they saw actually some of my work, which I also have an Instagram for during my audition. And they were like, hey, it would be super cool if you would paint Rob. They told me the week before we were set to film, which I was like, oh my gosh. So I got super excited and had a little bit of time to create it, but it was definitely an honor. I felt really excited. And for me, I think that was also driving me where I was like, oh, win, lose, or draw, which I guess you can't draw. Well, hey, I got to draw, right?
Yeah,
That's the
yeah.
draw.
Yeah, you got to
Got to
draw.
do the portrait. That was kind of like the moment I was really anticipating throughout the experience.
Do you think that added to any of the nerves when you're like, oh my God, I'm like sharing this on national television
Oh
and
my gosh.
to Rob Lowe?
Yeah. Yeah, so I've sold a lot of my art before. I've done fundraisers with my art. So having like the public perception of it wasn't new, but I also knew, the floor is full of haters, might get a couple comments. And also you want somebody to be flattered by the portrait that you do of them,
Sure.
right? So tried to make it as flattered as I could, tried to capture the essence of Rob, AI free, of course, just hand drawn with charcoal and pastel. But yeah, they called me about a week before production and asked, and I was super excited.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I thought it was super cool that, like you said, no matter win, lose, or draw, you already had a baked in moment with
Hmm.
Rob on the show that helped you be memorable because they asked
Thanks.
Zach to do balloon animals and he left his balloons
Oh,
in America.
So yeah,
oh shoot.
they were like, "What's a fun fact?" And I think it was like my grandfather was like a circus clown at one point. Like he was like a volunteer at a hospital circus clown thing, whatever. They were like, "Oh, did,
Right.
did you inherit any of your stuff?" I was like, I mean, I went through a balloon animal phase. They're like, "Would you make a balloon animal for Rob on national television?" And I was like, "If it gets me on the show." And
That's so
so
cool.
I was in the airport and I was like, "I forgot the balloons." So.
Oh my
Go,
gosh. And because so much pressure building up to it, you're like, okay, I need my outfit changes, three of the same outfit, two of the same shoes. And
yep.
then, yeah, I was so worried I was going to forget the portrait. So my husband was like, that's going in first. Yeah.
Glad you
Well,
had
no
someone
balloon
on your
animals
team.
for Rob.
Oh, well, you know what? We just need a redemption season and we need you on it, Zach, with the balloon animals.
I'll do it.
Ready to create.
I will. I have no shame. I will do it.
Yeah, I would love it.
They're listening. Ain't that right, Zach? They're listening.
Oh yes.
Producers, put Zach back on
But
the show.
my favorite thing was they were like, "Can you prove that you make balloon animals?" And I was like, "Do you want me to like go grab a balloon and make whatever?" They're like, "No, just send us a picture of like you making it and then like the finished result, whatever." So then I did that and sent them like a picture. I had like a giant hat, a sword, like a dog, like just covered in balloon animals. I
Oh
was
my
like,
God.
how many do I need to make here?
That's so
Um,
cool. Yeah, it's also, I think that those are the moments that stand out. They're not necessarily going to remember, oh, hey, you won a duel, a couple
yeah,
episodes ago, and then went home. It's like, oh, wait, you did this really cool thing or had this moment that was uniquely yours. So that felt like a win.
yeah.
You know what mine was that never made the
Hmm,
air?
The
tell
dance
me.
that did
No, it
make the air
wasn't the
though.
dance did make the air. No, one time Obama mushed me in the face, and they
Oh,
asked me that in my confessional. It was like, "Is it true that
oh.
Obama mushed you in the face?" And I was like, "Oh, I did not realize it was time to air out my petty grievances with a former leader of the free world."
Oh, I would love to. I would let Obama mush my face, though. I mean, that's pretty cool. He can mush.
I,
Uh, I,
you
I
mean you
I
became
wasn't
a meme
pleased at the
though.
time. I wasn't pleased at the time, but it is what it
Yeah.
Devin became a meme. Like
I
Okay, you
his
guys
little
have to send me
shimmy.
that. Oh, I've seen them. Okay, the math is mathing. Now it's all clicking in my head. Okay, now I've seen it.
Yeah, yeah, it's all over. But anyway, on to Kristen. Kristen picks
Yes.
the one person who's not a part of their alliance in
Yes.
air travel. You knew it
Hmm.
was coming.
I did.
Walk me through the moment because I have thoughts about your duel, but I'll let you run through them
Thanks.
first.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, my big thing was, oh my God, are they going to bring out the portrait now? Because they never really told me when it was going to happen, but I figured it was now. They took me to the side, touched up my beautiful makeup, so I was looking, 10 out of 10. Gave me a little pep talk, gave me a little sip of water. I felt very important for that like 10 seconds. And then walked up, kind of waved, did my little heart. I love to do like the Taylor Swift heart, did my heart to all my buddies, all my friends. And just kind of went up and was like, this is it. Don't, let the nerves kind of fly off you. I used to do improv comedy too. I've done like a
Oh.
little bit of everything. So I'm like, okay, take that side of you that used to get on stage and just let it go and kind of be in the moment. So I blacked out for a lot of the duel. I was like, you're going to cast quick. You're going to like respond quick. You're not going to ha, maybe this, maybe that. You're just going to play and see how it goes.
I actually, when you pass on Frontier,
Yes.
I like ever you heard like a lot of the audience and stuff. They're like no, whatever. And I'm like,
Hmm.
bravo for passing so quickly and not wasting any time with it because that
Thank
second
you.
or two that you break before the pass kills
Hmm.
you.
And honestly, like I have bad memories with Frontier. They canceled a flight and I was stuck for 14 hours in an airport. That's all blocked out. I'm not seeing Frontier. So I think it was like a mental block. That
uh,
was that was the start of the downfall, the pass.
well, I'll say it like this. Watching your duel, this is my thoughts on it. We've
Yeah.
had airport codes, we've had aviation, and so my initial thoughts is like it's probably going to be a combination of those two things
Mhm.
put
Right.
together. And then when I start seeing the logos for um airlines, I was like, uh-oh, because
Hmm.
so many of the domestic flights have been like been merged.
Consolidated. Yep.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was like, it could get real hairy real fast, and it did. And so, did
Yeah.
you was that what you were expecting to come on the screen? Because I thought you got, I felt bad because you got a lot of the logos,
Hmm.
and Kristen did
Yeah.
not.
Yeah, I mean, I knew there were going to be logos, so I studied those. I was proud of myself with that British Airwaves one. I was like, yes, got that. And then some of them were easy, right? Delta, Southwest, like the ones we all know. One of them, I think, was the airline that we all flew out there, so that was cool. A little shout out to Aer Lingus. But I would say, yeah, I was studying air. That was probably what I was studying the most was just the combination of, hey, what could a pilot look like? What could a tray table look like? What could a baggage tag or a security beltway look like? Whatever it was, the little things. What does a cockpit look like in different eras of planes too? Like, what's a cockpit in the 50s versus today versus a domestic flight versus an international flight? So I tried to fill my mind just with a lot of images that I could hone in on one. My husband also made a killer study guide for me. But I would say the logos, yeah, definitely the most challenging, and I got a lot of them. So I think that's, honestly what tripped me up.
Hmm. And so, me and you are kindred spirits, and I'm gonna explain what I mean. We both
Hmm.
would lose to people who would go on pretty big runs.
Hmm.
Does that make you feel better or worse when you lose to someone who did goes on to go on a pretty big run?
Yeah, no, that's a good question. I mean, Kristen, even though she was in the alliance, was somebody who I definitely really liked. I respected her. I liked her story. I thought she had a lot of poise. She's a journalist and a news anchor. So I was like, if I'm gonna lose to somebody, losing to Kristen was great. And I also loved her iconic, run, which I know we'll talk about. But seeing her make history with that, knowing her story, I was like, if I was gonna lose to somebody, that worked okay for me.
I
How
I
about
have
for you?
I have the opposite with that one.
Yeah.
I had a very similar experience where the person who beat me went to challenge like three more people in their category and just slaughter everybody.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, and how did you feel about the loss?
I made some tree puns uh,
Yeah,
backstage, but
yeah.
uh, brought it up recently with the Kentucky. I challenged someone in the Kentucky Derby, which just happened this past weekend. So it was bringing back all the feels. I was like, I know what
Oh
this is.
yeah.
I know what that is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep, yep,
That's
yep.
yeah, it's like half PTSD, half excitement, right?
Yeah.
And he
Yeah.
also lost to someone that Reddit loved. They loved the person who
Oh.
defeated him. They were like, "Oh my gosh, she's our queen! You
Who
go
wait, now
for
remind me
her."
who was it?
Megan. I don't know if you remember
Dang.
Megan. She had on
I
boot.
do.
Yeah,
Yeah. Okay.
yeah. So it's okay, Zach. It's okay.
You know
Yeah.
what?
Um,
We're
She
still Team
lost
Zach.
with my category, so
There you go.
it's
That's
it.
gotta feel good.
So you're sitting in the green room,
Hmm.
and you're probably, for those who don't know, you are whisked away to faraway lands after you
Hmm.
lose, but you get to see slowly but surely the people who also are losing, and you kind of start painting a picture for yourself. Like, wait up, who took you out? Who took you out?
Yeah.
She's still up. She's still up.
Hmm.
Dion, what you doing here? What was going through your brain as that's happening before you got to see the actual duels on the episode?
Yeah, no, that's a really good question. Honestly, in my mind, I was thinking, wow, this is going to be a really good episode. That hit me first because it had a lot, right? It had the portrait, it had this iconic run, it had the switch of categories and then a play. So I was excited about that, just thinking about the show and people tuning in. And then I also knew I couldn't feel too bad. Kristen was a big studier, you guys. That's another thing to note is once I hit Ireland, I was there to really have fun and enjoy the experience. I would study, but I was not that person who was up in my hotel room locked away. I was hanging out with everybody and really making friends because that was important to me. Just creating like that social aspect. And she was a studier. She was really well versed, as you saw in the categories. And that's what I kept thinking is, oh, every time I saw you, or a lot of the times I saw you, you were studying with your guide. So she put in the work and it paid off.
Yeah. And the more and more she would reveal about her background, the more and
Hmm.
more I thought everyone around her was screwed. I was like,
Hmm. Yeah.
like former Miss Florida. Okay, okay. She got the pageant game on lock. Probably has the
Hmm.
Barbies on lock. I'm a sports
Hmm.
reporter for years now. Like,
Yeah.
okay, so she knows journalism and sports reporting. And like, I survived cancer. I'm like, oh, she probably knows some things about this aspect. I'm like, yeah, I think it's trouble for you guys out there.
And if you what you're talking about is so important too, because you have to, if you're at all somebody who gets camera shy, nervous, or you freeze, you're gonna fail the duel. And she had
Mhm.
so much of that going for her, right? Kind of like Meg was actually fourth in her pageant. And I know Kristen, yeah, she was in a pageant too. She was a news anchor. She was people like that were always a little bit of a threat because they kept calm and cool under
Yeah.
pressure, right? They weren't hemming and hawing. And although I thought I had that on my side, I was like, okay, Kristen and I we're not gonna like crack and freeze and go totally blank and miss every question. Not that that happens in this episode, but I kind of knew we were a good duel with that.
I think everyone needs to go out and do some improv and get in front of the camera,
Yeah.
man. Because
Hey,
Yes.
come to LA. I'll sell you a house. I'll get you enrolled in with the groundlings. Let's go.
and so Kristen beats you.
Mhm.
I didn't mean to say it like that. And
No,
then
no, yeah.
then she goes into her next duel, and the commentary is that you got to win three. And so we already know
Yes.
through her DMs, her confessionals, that she's going to go for three, and she's eyeing
Hmm.
Dion. And they showed the
Hmm.
clip from like episode 2 of Dion talking that hot stuff about what he was going to do. Anyone
Yes.
who would challenge him in that category. What are you thinking as you're watching her master plan unfold as she wins these four duels in a row?
Yeah, I think for me, I kind of knew who she was going to target because again, they weren't in the alliance. They were people who were around us, and she did need that path to Dion. So I
Mhm.
kind of saw which way it might go. I didn't know if she was going to go like lower and go like the Austin route after me, or go towards like Liz. But I think it made sense. I knew that Dion he was like a big trash talker, and I don't think. He was a cool guy. I like him and everything, but he was a big trash talker on the floor. And I think that she was like, okay, let's see what you got. So that path up to him, I saw coming a little bit. I think that the Olympic stool was super cool to watch in person because Emmanuel and I were on the bus together, like talking about everything. And I was like, damn, we both just got beat in things that, we know pretty well. And it just showed how well studied she was. So thinking about that duel. And then I know when she hit Dion, like in the green room, we were kind of watching. You have the hair and makeup people, some crew, and they did have like a screen showing us the live feed at that point, which they don't always, as you might
Yeah,
know.
they don't.
Yeah,
I am
they
jealous. We
don't.
gonna see nothing.
Yeah. I
But
don't
go
even know if
ahead.
it was like allowed that we were watching it, but we were, and it was really crazy just to see the reaction when she did the category swap and then
Mhm.
challenged him. And I knew it was just going to be a great episode. I thought if it has to, if you got to go out on an iconic run, go out when somebody's really killing it. And when I felt like she just deserved it, it was justified. She did it. She went out there, she worked hard, and it all worked out for her.
So, do you guys believe Dion has ever watched a halftime show? Ever? I'm
I
just
mean,
saying.
one, no, and two, all we heard on the floor, you guys might remember this, all we heard was either Teenage Dream by Katy Perry or California Girls by Katy Perry. So when he skipped Katy Perry, I'm like, dude, this has been our life for the past,
Jellies.
yeah. So once in a while, Carly Rae would come in, but I'm like, you cannot pass Katy Perry in this category when that has been our entire lives for the past few days.
Yeah. I think that was really more of a like name this artist. Like halftime show,
It
sure, but like it
was.
had nothing to do with sports. And I think that
No,
threw
I
us
would have
off.
loved to have played that because I'm a big pop music, rock music, hip hop guy. So I would have played that one well. My hope was actually, if we want to go back to what I had hoped, I was really hoping it was going to land on me, and I would have challenged Kristen, and I think she and I would have been a really good duel with that one. But yeah, I think. I wasn't surprised he didn't know some of the more modern artists because I talked to him about his music taste a little bit. But yeah, she also was well studied on that one.
I think it's also worth noting that while that may not have been the closest duel, there were
Mhm.
three that night that went down to the last second or two. The last
Yeah.
question, if you passed or if you took one extra second, you would have lost, and the other
Hmm.
person did. So
So let's talk about the duel that led to the category still itself,
Hmm.
where book club literally came down to 2 seconds, which
Hmm.
is always tough when you have a duel where you have to read and then fill in the blank. Because I saw in
Hmm.
even one of the ones they said the whole title and nothing happened. It's like, oh, I have to just say the word. I was like,
yeah,
these seconds are precious. You
it was
have
like
to.
time
Hmm.
traveler's wife. Time.
Yeah.
Hmm. Yeah, and I think that was the key is knowing what you had to say and saying it quickly enough that you could just move on, right?
And I think that was super important because that could have easily gone the other
Either
way.
way, yeah.
Hmm.
And
And Melanie was good. She is such a reader. She and I talked books like, during lunch and our favorite books and stage shows based on books. And I mean, she really knew it, but it was such an odd way to do the category too, right? Like where there's the missing word and your mind just kind of wraps itself more around the novel or the book.
and you might get the off chance where you just see the blank and now you got to
Hmm.
look at the author.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
who's
Yeah.
the witch?
Yeah.
Like I don't know what this is. And so it led to that. She got to do the switcheroo. I think that's what we're going to call it officially, the switcheroo, which is done multiple seasons back to back of you giving your
Yeah.
category to somebody else and taking it out on them. And Kristen gets to go back on the floor, and then we land on Austin.
Hmm.
Now, I don't know if you've seen season three, but
Yes.
in season three, we had a similar instance where someone
I remember. Yep.
I knew Austin was cooked when he
Hmm.
didn't know robe. And
Hmm.
I don't know. I was like, oh man, this is tough. This is tough.
It was, yeah, poor Asa. I mean, he's such a cool guy too. He and I talk and chat all the time. He's one of my good friends. But I mean, I think that it just speaks to when you don't know something and you miss the first thing or you're not thinking of the word right away, that hill down is steep, right? Although he and I were talking, I'm like, dude, like you lost, but I mean, there's already an article out about your duel. Like sometimes losing is winning,
Yeah.
and I think he's going to be remembered.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes. Yeah. Only two people have left their opponent with that many seconds left on the clock. So he's definitely a record as I hold the records on my computer as I
He
battaliate.
Hmm.
he owned it at the end though. He was like, and that's it for me. Like,
Yep. He owned it. And honestly, it was iconic. It was kind of good TV, thinking about the floor as like a storytelling element of entertainment. It was cool. Like it was fun to watch. It was kind of like, oh God. And it was a feel-good moment, right? Like if you're watching at home, you're like, hey, I could have won that one. And that who doesn't love that?
Mitten for your feet. That's what.
Yeah. That he should sell actually, Austin, if you're listening, you should sell sweatshirts, hats, everything with that on it. Brand deals. That's what
and
you
then
want.
You got to call it all the wrong things on the website, though.
Yes.
All the
Yes. Like all
wrong
the
thing.
products will be mismatched, misnamed. Yes. I love it.
And then uh I skipped over something. I
Yes.
did not realize that Machines was going to be an audio
Sound.
duel.
Mm.
And with Machines being an audio duel, I soon realized how many machines sound very similar to each other.
Oh,
And the
yeah.
and the pictures did not help at all.
The pictures didn't, honestly, sometimes the pictures as I was
Bit
looking would
worse.
confuse me. Yeah. I would have been like, don't even look at the screen, listen and answer kind of guy. But it was, yeah, it didn't help.
It's like chainsaw, wood chipper.
Hmm.
Those are the exact same sound, man. Okay.
Yeah.
Like,
And a
stop
lot
it.
of the sounds I noticed were kind of like southern or farmy type sounds. So I think, Paige did well on that one.
Uh,
Mhm.
oh, like this is ridiculous. This is, but
So, and since we're drawing a line back to season three, I love that steeplechase came back around during
hey,
the Olympics. That
Hmm.
threw someone in our season, and that was like came
Yeah.
a big deal back to like who does steeplechase? Is came a
Yeah.
big thing.
Yeah. That's like the Henry Kissinger of our season,
Yeah.
episode one. That was a big deal backstage. That's its whole own story. But yeah, yeah. So like the legendary like answer that's like who in the heck would know that?
Yeah.
you got to know. So good segue. Barbie duel.
Mm.
I am so happy that Alan got to make his appearance on the Barbie duel.
Woo. We love Alan. Alan is the star of Barbie. Make no qualms about it. It's Alan.
Yeah, and she said it with so much confidence because she just knew
It's
that
just
Alan was going
Alan.
to pop up. Because I'm real big into history, and History Channel
Hmm.
has that the Toys That Made Us
Hmm.
series, and it's always like my fun fact of like Alan is another
Yeah.
male toy other than Ken. That's a part of it.
Yeah, and it's just, I mean, with the Barbie movie and everything coming out, that was iconic. Having Alan there was like needed.
Oh my goodness. And Mermaid Ken.
Mermaid Ken. I mean, we had so
Merman
many
Ken.
Barbie. Merman,
Merman Ken.
yes. Let's get it right. No, but it was cool to see. I think so much of Barbie culture now is tied to the film. So it was cool to see that kind of be a part of the story of that category where they were using things that maybe a few years ago wouldn't have been in Barbie, but now are, mainstream knowledge.
I'm happy because they could have made it a lot harder. Because every
Hmm.
time Barbie's hair changed color and her skin tone changed, I'm like, that's not Barbara. That's not Barbara
Yeah.
Millicent. That's not. That's one of those other characters. You gotta
Hmm.
go. Barbie is blonde.
I just
My,
wish we had Midge, the
yeah.
pregnant Barbie. That would have been great.
My wife was wondering why I was screaming from the other room, my size Barbie, my size Barbie, my size Barbie.
She's
I
like,
can't. And so then we get towards the end, and I'm gonna be very transparent.
mhm,
Once we knew that Kristen won her solidified to 20,000 is actually very, very close to getting a territory freeze. When Madison challenged Taj, I've been keeping
Yeah.
up with the data points, and I've been saying that Taj is a dangerous
mm,
contestant. He's really,
yes,
really
he's one of the
fast.
angels. He's a good guy. We love Taj. Yeah,
Hey,
Team Taj.
Team Taj. And so seeing her challenge him for Roman Empire, and I was like, uh-oh, you messed up for two reasons. One, Taj is really, really fast on the intake. I've been tracking. He's one of the
Hmm.
fastest guessers on the floor. Two,
Hmm.
have you read the article that all men think about is the Roman Empire on a
Right?
regular basis? Like that's all. That's all. That's not what I think about, but it's all we think about.
That that was one of my favorite categories. I was like last week we were like fun facts and they're like what's the thing that you do like rabbit holes and
Hmm.
like when you're not working and everything. I was like Roman Empire all day.
Hmm. And see, even if we have our own Roman Empire, if it isn't the actual Roman Empire, like for me this week, it was Olivia Rodrigo. We all have our own, but shifts and changes too.
All the things, all the things. And so it was cool to see that battle. And I was yelling at my TV. I was like, when you don't know something, and this is me talking to America, if you don't know that, say pass. Really,
Hmm.
really quick, 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 quick as possible. Don't try
Yep.
to. I know you're smart. I know you know the answer. I know that if you had to take a test, you would get that answer correct 9 times out of 10.
Right.
This is not that. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
Pass. You don't know quickly, and that's where she lost that duel. And I was like,
Hmm.
if you had just armor, shield, no, no, no. Let's push forward. And
Keep it
so,
cute. Keep it moving.
yep,
Yeah.
yep. See it, say it, pass, and don't say
Yeah.
skip because that's the name of a
Mm-mm.
dog. But anyway,
Yes. We saw some skips last night.
yeah, yeah, we did. So now that your experience has culminated, what is the big thing, that the memory that you're going to hold on to, that might be on TV screen, maybe it's not on the TV screen, that you're going to cherish
Ooh.
about this time?
I think, can I give two? Because I'm a Gemini. I feel like I deserve two, right?
Sure.
Because duality. So one was definitely the portrait moment. Just being asked by the team to do that, being able to have that like solidified. Art's been a part of my life since I was 5. So getting to do that, getting to have that be a part of other people's lives, definitely, an iconic moment on my stay. And the other part would definitely be the angels, all the people that were kind of in our group that just gelled, and we still talk all the time. We have a group chat, we have our own group chat. We have so we have plans to see each other. A couple of them are coming here this summer, a couple of them I saw earlier this year. It's the friendships that you make, because I think people don't see. Now I think of stuff like Big Brother and Survivor. Those people must be tight, because even in 4 or 5 days you're around each other all the time. You get to know each other pretty well. You really get to develop these bonds and these connections, and meet people who your paths would have never crossed otherwise. So I think the duality of those, like the cool moment on the TV, but then the behind the scenes moment of these lifelong friends who I get to enjoy still.
You know what, Zach? I mean, I do this every season when we get into mid-season.
Hmm.
Well, what got
Yeah.
you into the floor? Because we get in the middle, we get so close to the end. What got
Yeah.
you to actually wanting to be on the floor? What is
Yeah.
your journey and your path to this place?
I'm happy you asked that. Yeah, so actually, my husband was auditioning first. He was auditioning, and he was a couple of rounds into the interview process. And he told me, "Hey, you need to do this. Like, you would be really good at this too. You should do it." And I remember we were at the Long Beach airport up here, and I was like, "Okay, let's just record a video." I did 2 minutes, submitted everything. And then by the time our plane landed, I had an email that was like, "Hey, we'd love to interview you too." Turned out my husband couldn't actually do it because he was on another game show within that, waiting period. So he didn't move through with the audition process, but they moved me through. So I'd say he was my inspiration and kind of my guide through. Really funny thing. We have the same last name, which is Toledo. And when they were doing like that round where they, take your categories and kind of quiz you on them, they used his categories. So I had to like fake it till you make it and just act like those were mine, because I was like, well, I don't want to piss off a producer or casting person. So I just was like, yeah, I could do these three, even though my knowledge was shaky, and it all worked out.
Nice.
Yeah. That was funny though. It's like, I don't know as much about Southwestern history as you, but I'm gonna fake it.
That is really neat. It's so
Yeah.
many times where people are like, "Yeah, my mom was going to do it," and we end up going a
Hmm.
different route. Or you could just be an Olympic athlete and they call you to be on the show, and then
Yeah. That's another thing. I don't know if you guys have talked about that, but it's so interesting to see, season one to now, how many more notable people are on the season. Like ours had like 15, 16 people who were already super well known. And that was interesting. I thought that was crazy.
I think season 3 might have opened that door all the way up
Mhm.
because Brian did what he did and
Bachelor
decimated,
Nation.
and it was like, oh, let's get more of them, more
Yeah.
with the normies.
Yeah. Yeah. Because that was the Bachelor Nation couple, right?
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
So,
By the way, they stood next to me like near the entire time, and I do not watch The Bachelor or The Bachelorette or any of those. So I was chatting them up the
Okay.
entire time, and I didn't know until my last day there. They're like, "Oh yeah, there's like the Bachelorette couple," and I was like, "Who is that?" And they point, I was like, these like the people I've been talking to the entire time.
That's so funny. Yeah, there were a couple of people I had no idea who they were, like when we made friends, and I was like, "Oh shoot, you did a show, or you did, whatever." So that was also kind of cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you like this. I got off the plane with the Bachelor couple. I
Oh,
also did not watch Bachelor at all. So it's me and Tony. Tony went pretty far
mhm.
in our season.
Yeah.
And the Bachelor couple. And I looked at Tony and I was like, are they sleeping together? Because they seem to be together. And I didn't know you could bring are y'all both on the show?
Yeah.
This is cheating. That's all I can think of. Like,
Romance.
yeah, I didn't know we could bring our spouses. I would have brought my spouse. Oh, y'all both get to compete. How did this work out? But
Yeah,
if your husband wasn't on the show, you guys could have possibly been on the show at the same time, which would have
that would have
gave
been fun.
you extra power. So just
Yeah.
cool vibes, and it makes me look forward to see what happens in not episode, season 6, where they
Hmm.
go with everything.
For sure.
So, generally, with no spoilers,
Hmm.
who is your dark horse to win it all? Who is your
Oh,
dark
okay.
horse to win it all with no spoilers? Um,
Okay. Yeah, I would say so. This season, I'm sure you guys have noticed, but it's a big shift in tone to me. Where the other seasons were more cutesy, like, oh, I have this confessional moment and I'm going to make a pun. This season is a little more cutthroat, just the commentary, the way people are acting. So I keep that in my mind. Watching as a viewer, watching people, their strategy, I would have to say Aaron is up there. I think Aaron is good. We've seen her play a few times. We've seen her make really strategic decisions. We've seen her retreat play, go back and forth. Taj, who you already mentioned, I think is killer because I think whether he's doing the challenging or he's being challenged, I think he's great. And then I wouldn't call like if I was just watching, I wouldn't call Eric, a dark horse, but he would be at the top of my mind as somebody who could win just because he was also so protected by that alliance. I would probably put my money on like those three at this point, based on like viewership and watching. How about you guys? What do you think?
Devin, you go first.
oh, okay. Okay. So, so I still give it up to like Taj, which I mentioned earlier,
Mhm.
and then I'll mention Mark. Mark had a pretty good run, and no one's really challenged him since. And he still has a sizable territory.
Mhm.
And I'll
Mhm.
also say, just as a viewer, I like when it seems to be separate islands across the board. I don't like the
Oh yeah.
one big blob being on
Hmm.
there. And so it gives multiple opportunities for people to get $20,000. And I think that
Yep.
makes the game more interesting, other than, oh, I'm way on the other side of the floor.
Hmm.
I'm nowhere near the 20,000. Of course, I'm not gonna stay and play. I'm gonna go back to the floor. Now people have
Yeah.
opportunities that if you just win 2 duels, you have a sizable a lead. So that's where
Yeah.
I'm gonna go. What about you, Zach?
So I I think that my favorites and who I think are going to win are different. So Kristen quickly, I feel like she just knows so many different types of things that I wouldn't put any category past her that I don't think she'd perform well in.
Hmm.
You have Taj, who obviously he's quick on the draw, but he's no longer got a good category and he's got some studying to do in a very short amount of time,
Hmm.
uh, where he's a bit of a target. Now Taj is better situated on the corner, right?
Hmm.
We've learned in the past that that's kind of the sweet spot to get a little bit of territory and just kind of stake your claim on that space and let everything else happen. Kristen's
Yeah.
moving into the middle where a lot of these you got kind of mid-sized whales spread out.
Hmm.
Those could quickly join, and then you are just the target for everybody.
We're gonna call that
Hmm.
dolphins from now on. Those aren't
There you go.
mid-size.
Yes. Yeah. We need another sea creature. I like dolphin. That's like more flattering as well. So let's call him dolphins. Yeah.
So
Who would be? So are those your favorites? Now that I'm gone, because I know I
those
was
are
your
my
favorite. I'm just
favorites.
gonna assume. Okay, those are your favorites too. Okay. Well, we
Those are
have some of
favorites.
the same favorites.
But then I will say there's still a lot of people
that
who
haven't
we have
played.
not seen. And
Hmm.
Hmm.
I think that from a probability standpoint, the
Hmm.
more battles you do, technically your probability to win goes down. The more
Hmm.
you play, the more chances you have to lose.
Uh,
So, without again,
100%.
my two of my favorites are also going to be the Dolphins out there, right?
Hmm.
And you still got a bunch of people that haven't played. I don't know if I could pick someone who I think would win, but I still have my favorites.
so this is what I'm
Yeah.
gonna say, Will, and this is.
Yeah.
Do you watch other reality TV shows?
Oh, I do. Yeah, I do. Bravo's my big one. That's why I was shocked when I didn't get Bravo, because that's actually a category I interviewed with too. So, yeah.
So you watch, let's say, Traders, because
Yeah. Yeah.
big,
Yeah.
big, big time. And so my argument against you, Zach, is that no one has that winner's edit. Because
Hmm.
remember, on past seasons, they'll cut to like one or two people that haven't dueled at all, just so you can get a kind of general idea that this person is going to be playing in the end game. And I don't know if I've seen as many shots of those people who have not played at all yet, intercut yet.
Hmm.
And maybe I'm wrong.
It's still halfway.
It's
We
still
got some
halfway
time.
there. But they were showing clips of David, who didn't even compete till like episode 8 in our season
Hmm.
early. They were showing what's old boy that was on Survivor on season 4 who was in the late game.
Fair
Shoot.
play?
Not fair play, the other
Oh, yeah.
Jacob.
Oh, yeah.
They were showing clips of Jacob early on in the season
Hmm.
before he even played, and he didn't play till like episode 10 or something like
Hmm.
that, like late. So I don't know. I know I shouldn't play insider baseball with the way people edit TV, but you know.
Well, I mean, with spoiler free, I feel like you're onto something with the editing. Like once episode 3 came around and I had an interview, I was like, okay, they're going to show the art probably. Because I feel like they don't want to, they want to at least show if you have a big moment or if you do well, they want to have you on the screen. I'll say, knowing what I know, I can't say too much. I'll say, I've seen the people a lot of people who make it fairly far in little moments, little pieces here and there frequently. So yeah, just keep watching, keep looking for clues. I think that's a good strategy.
Looking for the clues.
Look
All
for
right.
those clues.
And so as we kind of wrap this up, we always like to ask if you could describe your experience in just 3 words. 3 words. What will those 3 words be? And you don't, if you could think about it, but if you have them already,
Yeah.
go ahead.
I could do that. Yeah, I'll feel like this is a job interview and I'm on the spot. I'm gonna say it. No, first would be transformative. Really, like as crazy as it sounds, it was a challenge for me. I don't like flying at all. I have like my Xanax. I hate flying. So getting on an airplane alone, going across the country, doing the journey, I think was just an accomplishment for me. It kind of put me into a new headspace where I was thinking about what does the future really look like for me. So transformative would be first. Second would be exciting. So the excitement that was just like around every corner, whether it was like, hey, we're eating yogurt in trash bags, that was exciting. Or like, hey, we're on a bus, or oh my God, we're eating like a really overcooked hamburger at our hotel. But it's exciting because I'm with these people that are super fun and cool. And then I would say three, um, reflective. It made me be just more reflective on myself, on life, I mean, it was pretty, like I said, kind of tied to transformative, but it really makes you rethink, everything and how people connect and how you meet people and what people are interested in and passionate about because you get to see their passions through their categories, a lot of them. So just thinking about life in that way, yeah, it was an amazing experience.
And I concur with everything that you're saying because through this show, I've got an opportunity to talk to really, really cool people. I got to meet
Mhm.
really, really cool people and forge relationships I never thought I would have, which, as my friends who are now approaching 40 and I'm already over in 40, like it's hard to make new adult friends. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? And this has been an opportunity to be like, okay, well, at least we have something that we're interested in and we have some kind of shared experience that can connect us as we build out those bonds. So I
Like
definitely
Yeah.
feel the
accelerated
same way.
summer camp.
Yeah, it's like adult summer camp. And as somebody, college professor, I never really grew out of school. I love a school schedule. So yeah, summer camp all the way.
Oh, that.
Yeah. Well, we appreciate you coming through and
Yeah.
giving us behind the scenes perspective on episode 6. Definitely a lot of
Yeah.
strategy, pressure packed into this one. A lot of great stuff.
Yeah. No, thank you guys for having me. This was awesome. And I just, love your show. You guys do a killer job on this. So keep up the good work. We all love it.
Hey, we all love it. Who are the
Everyone, the world.
The world. I'm just messing with
We
you.
are the world.
We are the children. Yes.
Yes. Yes.
And so, shout out to everybody watching and listening this season of The Floor, and just keeping as it keeps getting more competitive, and we're only just getting started because we're in the mid game now.
Yeah. And if you enjoyed this episode, make sure you follow the Lowe Down on the Floor on Spotify and YouTube.
And we'll catch you next time for more strategy, more stories, and more chaos from the floor. We'll catch you on the floor. We did it. We did it together.